Lords of the Fallen tour has been stripped from developer Defiant Studios by publisher CI Games, as reported by Eurogamer. Franchise custodian CI Games claims it was forced to end its development partnership with Defiant after the New York studio failed to meet key milestones and delivered work of subpar quality. It's news that throws the future of the franchise into doubt, given Defiant was only brought on board last summer to wipe the slate clean and begin working on Lords of the Fallen tour from scratch. The termination of the agreement was submitted due to inadequate execution by Defiant of a key work stage milestone known a so-called vertical slice, reads a translated press release. The quality of the work was lower than expected by the company, as precisely described in the agreement. Despite 3 calls to improve the quality of this stage of work, Defiant, however, has pushed back against the CI Games version of events, and studio founder and managing director David Grimes claims he fully stands behind the work of his team. We categorically disagree with the portrayal of Defiant Studios made by CI Games, he told Eurogamer. The team that was working on CI Games project was comprised of exceedingly talented developers, whose work we fully stand behind. Our team knows how to build quality games, as is evident by their key roles in Just Cause 3, Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, Far Cry 5, Devil May Cry and many other top-tier projects. As we intend to abide by our contractual confidentiality obligations, at this time we cannot expand further on this matter. Moving forward, CI Games intends to finish work on Lords of the Fallen tour internally, but that could present something of a challenge with the studio having last year significantly downsized its in-house dev team. Activision is looking to refund the base game purchases of people that picked up Guitar Hero Live in the last year or so of its lifespan. The company has rolled out a voluntary refund program that aims to issue refunds to those players that picked up the game after December 1st,
2017.
No reason for this particular cutoff date, or the refunds themselves, is given. But the refund offer comes just months after Guitar Hero TV, the service that gradually cycled new playable songs in the game, was shut down for good. That feature was officially sunset on December 1st, 2018 after roughly 3 years of running. Guitar Hero Live players still have access to any of the songs that were offered as on-demand titles. But Guitar Hero TV was the primary way Activision brought new content into the game, and worked as more of an ever-rotating playlist of content than a traditional DLC model. With that live service sunset, any of the hundreds of songs offered during GHTV's lifetime are completely inaccessible. Even before the official shutdown, new songs had stopped appearing on the service, and the studio behind the game, Freestyle Games, itself suffered layoffs before being essentially picked up and rebranded by Ubisoft as Ubisoft Limited. Group and USTWOGAMES will be releasing their new titles, Winding Worlds and Repair, respectively, as Apple Arcade exclusives. This news comes shortly after Apple announced its own game subscription service, Apple Arcade, as a pay-for-access library of premium games for Apple platforms. In addition to Group and Astral Games, Hironobu Sakaguchi's creator of that Final Fantasy series, Studio Mistwalker is working on an Apple Arcade exclusive game called Fantasia. A handful of developers are already working with Apple to bring their games to the service, including Konami, Platinum Games, Sega, ANAPURNA Interactive, Gameloft, Devolver Digital and several others. While Apple has yet to announce anything on pricing yet, the service is due out this fall in more than 150 countries and regions, and the full list of games slated to be released on the platform can be viewed here. Competition for players' money and attention is fierce in the mobile game market. Two few are coming to THEGAME Developers Conference in March. You will have an opportunity to get a fresh perspective on the problem from an industry heavyweight. Candy Crush Maker King will be at BD 2019 presenting a special mobile summit on to Affinity and Beyond, lessons learned mapping the mobile games market, which promises to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what the company has learned from charting what sorts of games its audience likes to play. At King, they have found this sort of affinity data can be a powerful tool to help developers build better games. They have mapped the mobile gaming market based on affinity and how this relates to audience preferences. But what is it that they develop an affinity for? Can game designers use this kind of big data to market games better, or even guide their decisions on what games to make? All this and more will be discussed by King Project Manager in short Media in this illuminating talk, so make time to check it out. For further details on this talk, and the many more in store for you at the show, check out THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscow Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to GD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, or Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Video Game Deep Kids is a weekly newsletter from video game industry. Watcher Simon Carlos, GD, Gamasutra co-runner, rounding up the best long-read standard articles videos about games every weekend. This week's highlights include a look at smash hit Taiwanese horror game Devotion, quirky art tutoring game Art School, and the latest behind-the-scenes video on Super Giant's early access title Hades, among a whole bunch of other neat articles videos. Well, that week flew by, did not it? But there is plenty of content in here, inspiring ground in equal measure, to get you through the weekend in good shape. Happy reading. Until next time. Simon, Curator. Miss Shit, the review, Philip War PC Gamer article. On the other hand, am playing a traveling artist. I came to this shade to paint pictures in tribute to my mother, via the type of in-game screenshotting. It's this art focus, which sets this shade apart from other games, which muddle about in those Euro-flavored adventurous settings. Simon, just note some interesting concepts behind this title. The best game design ideas from BD, the Game Overanalyzer YouTube video. This video is a summary and analysis of the best game design ideas I have seen in all the GD talks I watched, and I thought it would be interesting to compile all these ideas in one place for your viewing pleasure. The video is framed as a response to Chris Crawford's famous Dragon speech, where he predicted a lot of what is transpiring in the medium today. Simon, just note, an interesting compilation. Who Says I Cannot Win Dress ESPN article. Mendez says it started with the Madden video game. His older sister, Jackie, pushed her brother to try new things and one day tucked a PlayStation controller under his chin. He learned to press the buttons with his chin and collarbone. Unlike fighting or fantasy games, where he constantly had to engage, football gave him breaks. Sunless Skies tells its story slowly, but they are worth the trip. Rob Zachney Waypoint article. Sunless Skies disappointed me at first. The sequel to the excellent Celeste Fail Bitter Games 2015 exploration game that was set in the universe of their free-to-play hypertext adventure, Fallen London. Sunless Skies takes us to a new setting that mixes the familiar with the completely unknown. At its outset, however,